Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made this really pretty teardrop pendant necklace using the bargain bead box Time Traveler for December of 2025. I had so much fun. I'm working on some tutorials today, and this is my first one. I used the teardrop, and then I used one of the bead caps and one of my jump rings, and then one of the link connectors here. And I just created a little dangle pendant here. And then I used, which I'll show in the tutorial, I used some 11-0 seed beads I added to this just for a little pop of color, because you know me, I gotta have my pop. And I did brownberry 11-0, and then I did this metallic olivine. I thought it was really pretty. This almost looks more like a springtime necklace with these colors. But I love the green and the brownberry in it, because the brownberry kind of tones it down so it's not too bright, and it adds a little bit. There's really, the antique brass doesn't have as much depth to it in color, so that's why I added this brownberry, because when you look at these two seed beads, this has more depth to it, and then this has that little bit of extra sparkle. So yeah, so I loved creating this. This was so much fun. If you're not familiar with the bargain bead box, it is $24 a month, $24.99 a month, and they're valued at about $60. This one was $86.82. I will leave a link below to this full unboxing for this month for Time Traveler. So if you missed it, you can watch it and see all the beads that were in it and all these goodies. And if you want to learn how I made this, then stay tuned. So I'm starting off with 23 inches of the Beadalon. I'm using the bronze because the antique bronze kind of could be used for copper or bronze. So I'm using 23 inches of this. Then I have 2 crimp covers, 2 crimp beads, 2 jump rings. I have one smaller one and one bigger one. I use the bigger one to attach the lobster clasp for the thing. We'll get to that. And then I have one bigger jump ring that I'm going to show you how I kind of decorate this peach moonstone teardrop. So I have the peach moonstone beads. I have, oh, I know, I wanted to show you. Okay, so what I'm adding, because I always have my colors, this one is a brownberry. Now, I got these at Hobby Lobby. These are the check glass beads, the 11-0 seed beads. So this is a brownberry, and then this one is mint olivine. It's 11-0 seed beads. So this is them out. So what I'm doing is this is get them sparkle, but it's a little bit of matte sparkle, and then this is just like big sparkle. So I'm adding those as my little separation colors, I guess you could say. Then I'm using the champagne luster coated agate beads. Got some of those. And I have some of the freshwater pearls. I have like 6 of them to start out with, because I'm not really sure how many I'm going to use. And I have my peach moonstones, and then I have some bead caps. I have some of these, the coin spacers. So I've got those, and then some of the bead caps, and then one of these fancy loop for loop connectors. So, oh, and you know what I do need? I do need one more jump ring, because I'm going to have to add it. Okay, so I think I went through everything. Put those up there. So let me show you what I do here. So first I'm going to, I forget to get my supplies out here. So first I'm going to use my pliers, and I'm going to, and I always use my round nose pliers just so because I like to use them to bend and to shape things. So use those. I'm going to attach this to the top part that the beading wire will go through. So I do that. Make sure this is closed all the way. Yes, okay. So now I have this. Let me move these out of the way while I'm doing this. So now I'm going to take my bigger jump ring. I'm going to open it up like that. I'm going to put it through this hole. Just put it through. I don't know if you can see that, just a teeny bit. Now I'm going to take one of the bead caps and I'm going to put it on there. And then I'm going to, hold on, here we go. There we go. I think I had it. Oh, of course, because I'm filming this. It's not, okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have it. You can see it's kind of through like that. Now I'm going to take this, the opposite where the jump ring is, and I'm going to close this up. And you could put, I have like put seed beads and stuff on this, everything, but I'm not going to this time. So see, let me put it in here so you can see. I just made a cute little pendant. So there you go. So see, I just made that cute little pendant there. And now I'm going to take my beading wire. I'm going to put it through here like this. And let me get some of these peach moonstones off. I'm trying to keep it so it's not too busy right in front of everything. And then I also need my little, I use these so that I don't lose anything. Okay, so here we have it right here. So now I'm gonna, let me lay this down flat so you guys can see this. I'm gonna make my first bead. I think I'm gonna do the first one to be a peach moonstone. Find the hole in this one. Oh, that one's not. I'm trying to make them the same. You know what, I'm not going to do these as the first one because it's not, these are more like rustic, and I want the first ones in front to be perfect. So let me try these. Let me see if I like those. Okay, this will do. Okay. Let me lay this down. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty right there. Okay, so now I have that there. So now we're gonna do, we have that. So we're gonna do a bead cap. One of these sparkly little champagne lusters. Where's that at? Like that. And then another bead cap. Like that. And then I'm going to do one of the peach moonstones like that. And now I'm going to put a little bit of these down. Get these out of the way. And I'm going to do a brown and 3 greens and a brown. Look how that, look at that little bit of green in there. Look how pretty that looks. Loving that. Then we'll do another peach moonstone. And then we'll do a bead cap, the champagne, and another bead cap. Oh, that looks pretty. I'm loving that. I was like, what color do I want to add to this? Okay, so now let's do it on this side. So we'll do the bead cap, the pink champagne, the bead cap, and then we'll do the peach moonstone. That, and then brown, and then the 3 green. I like that. I like the brown for a little bit of the depth, even though I want this to be a lighter necklace. So that's why I'm like, just those couple little pops. I think it looks really pretty. Champagne. And then that. So that's it so far. I think that looks really pretty. Let me get some more of these peach moonstones off. Okay, so now I'm going to do one of these coin ones like that. And then I'm going to do a peach moonstone. I'm going to do green. No, sorry, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then 11, because I wanted to begin and end with the brown. So, see, now it's got that, another little pattern there. That looks really cool. And then I'm going to add another peach moonstone. And then I'm going to add another coin bead. Like that. And then I'm going to add the bead cap, the champagne, and the other bead cap. This is really pretty. I love this green in here. I just think it looks so pretty. So let me bring these down a little bit. I keep bringing it down so that you can see. Make sure it's in view. Okay, so here we have here. So now we are going to, oh, bring this back down. We have it like that. Okay, so now we are gonna go with, let me see, now we're gonna do the coin bead. Like that, and then we're gonna do the peach moonstone. And then we're gonna do 11 beads starting with the brown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I love creating these kind of little pieces. They're just fun, you know. They don't have to really match. And then we'll do the bead cap. Champagne luster and the other bead cap. Ooh, that looks really pretty. So now I'm gonna do another peach moonstone, and then I'm gonna do this pattern again. I'm gonna do 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And then another peach moonstone. I'm going to do a peach moonstone like that. Then I'm going to do a pearl and a green, a pearl. Can't find the hole. Okay. Oh. Pearl of the green. This, and then the other pearl. Okay. You know what? I'm not liking the pearl on this. I changed my mind. It's a woman's right to change her mind. Woman's prerogative, as they say. Yeah, I don't know. It's too stark of a white, I think, for this necklace, for this look I'm going for. You know, like when I look at that, I think it's too stark of a white. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this up here. So we're going to do a peach moonstone. Yeah, it looks pretty, but I don't know. For some reason, if I didn't add it down here, so I'm not going to add it up there. I like this color scheme I'm going with. So we're going to do 11 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and another peach moonstone. And you know, another color, if you don't have a light green, I was kind of looking at this blue too at first, but I think the blue would have been a little too much. I think the green it's kind of like a springtime green. It kind of blends in more with this, but you could do like a light peach color too, and just keep more peach in it, if you needed to. Okay, so now we have this. So now I'm going to go with, I had the peach. Now I'm going to do one of the coin beads like that, and then I'm going to do peach like that. Then I'm going to do a bead cap and the champagne and another bead cap like that. Let me make sure that you're in angle now. So there we are right there. I'm going to clip this over here. Okay. So now we're going to do it here. We'll do the coin bead, peach moonstone, bead cap. This champagne luster one bead, this one is so pretty. It's not very intrusive like to the necklace, but yet it gives it that pop of color. I'm going to see how far I am around here. Okay. So now what I would like to do, so I have these. Now I'm going to do some seed beading because I always like to do it up towards the top. So I'm going to do, let me get a few more peach moonstones for the shape that I like. So I have it right there. So now I'm going to do another peach moonstone like that. And then I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the brown, and then 1 brown, 3 green, and then 1 brown, 3 green. I'm going to change it up a little bit. 1 brown, 1, 2, 3 green, 1 brown, 3 green, 3 brown, 3 green, 1, 2, 3. My chair is starting to squeak. If you hear that squeaking, I told my husband, I said, you have to fix this. Because it's driving me nuts. I said, every time I film, you're hearing squeak, squeak. Sounds like there's a mouse in the room. Okay. So now I have that other little pattern there. Love that pattern. Oh, and I'm going to have to put one more peach moonstone up there. I will do that when I get done with this. I'm going to put the peach moonstone. And then there's 5 of the browns with the 3. So that's the first brown. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 5. There we go. And we're going to do peach moonstone. And we'll do one right here. In the hole there. And let me, yes. Okay. So here it is. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to end it. Where's the other? Yeah, I'm going to take, I want the end to have these coin beads. So I have 2 left of the coin beads. So I have 1 and then 2. Okay, so let me clean these up while I finish now. Put these over there. And let me kind of move these seed beads out of the way so I don't spill them, because I always spill them. I'm like, I don't mean to do that. Okay, so let me lay this down. So this is where we're at right now. So now I'm going to take one of the crimp covers and one of the crimp beads, and if you're new here, okay, I do it a little differently. So I open up the crimp cover like that, and I put it through like that, and then I just put it down to the bottom because it's the first side. Then I take the crimp bead, I put it down about 1.5 inches down. Then I take either bent chain nose pliers or regular chain nose pliers, and I put the crimp bead to the wires in the middle of it, and I flatten it. Now I have the bigger crimp beads. If you have the real tiny ones, this won't work because it'll come through the hole, and you don't want that. So then I take this and I bring this back up and I bend it through. It's just the way I do things. We all do things differently. Let me get this over. Let me turn it this way. And then I close that when the crimp bead is in there and it is flat. I'll close it a little more like that. Then, and I pull on it too, and it is not going anywhere because it's flat in there. So the crimp bead flat is bigger than that hole there. Then I usually keep this on if I can. and I'll put it through some of the beads, and then I'll cut it off. It just depends on the piece that I'm working on. Like if I can get it through some of the seed beads, I will. If I can't, I'll just cut it. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, this is not going through those seed beads. So I take my flesh cutters and I cut it right down to the bottom of the bead. But just having that little bit of extra in there, I feel like it, you know, gives it a little more insurance from, oh, sorry, I hit my camera. Gives it a little more insurance from breaking. So now I bring this down. I make sure that there's no gaps in there at all. Then I take the other crimp cover and I put it in there. Then I get my crimp bead and put that in. Now this one, I hold it up. I don't want to hit my camera again, but I hold it up. I make sure I spiral this around so that there's some movement in the necklace so it's not too tight. And then I kind of hold it up like this. Then I take my chain nose pliers or bent chain nose pliers, whatever. I reach in. I don't know if I'm showing you this. So see how I'm in there like that? I reach in there and I grab the crimp bead and I lift it up just a hair and then I flatten it just so that it's not, because you don't want it so tight that the necklace doesn't bend and move, but you don't want it so you see the wire. So then and you only flatten it one way, because if you turn that crimp bead and flatten it the other way, it's going to open back up. Then I pull on it and that's going nowhere. So then I will take it and I will go down, back down through there, and I'll go down through the peach moonstone. And then I will bring it out through there. I'll close this up just a little bit. And then I wait till it's flat like that, and then I will close it. There we go. And then cut it like that. And then we have to put the lobster clasp on. So I take this smaller one and I open it up. And then make sure your lobster clasp is working before you attach it. I always check it before I start my video. And then I put it through those. And I close that up. Okay. And then for the other side, you know, the one that the lobster clasp would go through, I use a little bigger of a jump ring. So open that up. Put that through. And there you go. And see, look how pretty that looks. You made your own pendant just with that bead cap and then with the filigree. And then you can close that up and look at this really pretty necklace that you made. And I love that little pop of green on here. I think it's so pretty. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And like I said, I have a coupon code BNJ2 for $2 off your first box with them. And let me know down in the comments what you thought of it. I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers before January 1st. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I haven't figured it out yet, which one. But I'm going to go with my subscribers. And I'm going to pick a couple people. And I might do one, I might do two. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't figured that out yet. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Give me a thumbs up and please leave me a comment. It really helps my algorithms and it keeps me to keep creating videos for you. I will leave a link below to Bargain Bead Box as well as all of my social media. And I will see you on my next tutorial and you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.